and welcome, beloveds, to another episode of Ask Dr. Mumbi. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms. I've been getting a lot of emails, of course, because of, we used to cover the news about, to comment about everything that's happening in the divided states with, the conviction of Derek Chauvin, and then all of us at the same time, literally an hour before the conviction. Of course, we lost this time a teenage black girl, Makia Bryant. And, there are very many amazing African-American brothers and sisters who are covering this. Shout out Vicky Dillard. I love her. So I'm not going to get too much into the news things, but all I would say, beloveds, is that what's happening in the divided states is a perfect example of how, the Babylon system creates a loop, and they get everyone stuck in this loop so that you never move forward. You never achieve, the fundamental things that your race or your community or your, sex want to achieve. So they keep, and it's a traumatic loop. And I feel that's what our African American brothers and sisters have been stuck in, because, beloveds, you have to be aware by this time that they are literally doing this on purpose. I mean, everything has been talked about, how the white supremacy, supremacists have invaded, infiltrated the police forces. It's not a secret. But the way they do it so publicly, it's more like a ritual, beloveds. I'm not sure, I don't even want to get deep into what kind of ritual, but I really do feel it's to constantly shatter, the collective spirit of the African American people so that they never really rise up. So you're always emotional, people are angry, people are emotional, and then it happens again. So then you go, so you're angry, you're emotional, you're like, what should we do? And then you go back to, another traumatic incident happens, and you go through the same emotion. So it's a traumatic loop they've got you in, beloveds. And you really have to get out of this spiritually. It's not going to happen physically. They've already hijacked the physical movement. The Black Lives Matter, really, the motto should be Black Lives Don't Matter for us, and so figuring out why how they managed to create this loop. They had you in a slavery loop as well. That's why they used to do all these, every few years they'd release like The Roots and all these movies to kind of shatter the experience. Like, why are they still, making slave movies? Ask yourselves, beloveds, because the world is mental. And so if they continuously get you in this trauma loop, you'll never get anywhere. And that is sadly what has happened with our African American brothers and sisters. And the sad thing is, for the global Black nation, our African American brothers and sisters are the ones who have the most warlike spirit, that revolutionary spirit that we need to spark up, a true revolution in Africa. But they've got you stuck in your heads, beloveds. They've got you stuck in your emotions, in pain, in fear, in anger, without really being able to, do anything about it. Because let me tell you something, beloveds. You can only create, manifest, and wage war from a place of calm and peace. Like, for those deep strategies, you really need to move out of your emotions, because emotions will always get you fighting on the level on the level of the enemy, beloveds. It will get you always confronting these things on that level. You respond in anger. So then what? Then you're in their muck. But to spiritually solve this, people need to now rise above and look at really what's happening. Because how are you being defeated by lesser beings, beloved? How are you being kept in a crazy mental loop? And the crazy thing is, it wasn't even Derek that got convicted. I believe he'd performed that ritual. It was a major ritual. If you look at it, it triggered a whole series of events. You definitely need to check out, some gematria around everything that happened and is still happening through that. And for me, there's some things where I even feel like a lot of these things are still staged, which is why I say get out of the screens. Some of these things, beloveds, yes, they are killing some of our African American brothers and sisters. But then you see now, even this Micaiah Bryant, like the story was so, it was so strange. And don't get me wrong, but they were like, they didn't know if she was 15, if she was 16, if she was this, if she was that. Like there was a lot of ambiguity. And right now, beloveds, let me just break it down. There's a lot that's happening for real, but there's so much fake news. Hollywood has taken over the CNNs of this world, beloveds. And they are playing you like fiddles because you're stuck in a loop. I don't know how you get out of this loop. I'd love some ideas. If you'd like me to meditate on it, or, I'll definitely look through the comments and see if there's anything, anything to share. But you're stuck in a loop, beloveds. And it's a very disempowering loop because you never come into yourself so that you can actually do something about what's happening. And I told you collectively, you see what happened is like by bringing all of us online, they brought, and creating this collective consciousness because we're all on social media, et cetera, and all the communities like the melanated nation, we have a separate group conscious from the Caucasian nation. And so, they're always trying to just shatter and weaken our collective because, our collective group thought so that we can never really do anything about it. And so that the leaders among us also get pulled down by the force field of the group consciousness. So I really believe that there are leaders, all the leaders you're seeing right now, all the African American leaders that are kind of trying to take this forward, all of them are fake, beloveds. That's my personal opinion. But for the true leaders to emerge, then, they have to kind of move themselves out of that group consciousness. Don't allow yourselves to be played, beloveds, like a fiddle. Because if they keep you that low, you're always afraid they're going to do something. And then it also shatters the minds of the generations that are coming to think that the Mzungu is super powerful. That's why you have to think everything they do is on purpose. Every movie they produce is on purpose. Every news show that happens is on purpose. Derek wasn't even the one that was convicted. I mean, there was even something that was sent to me about the handcuff situation, but it was just basically like a movie, beloveds. It was an act. And you should definitely check this, this sister called Keygen. Absolutely awesome. She does some, news analysis and stuff, and she'll give you some so that you can see like so much. Beloveds, we've moved into the, CGI world, the screens. The level of fake news is so overwhelming. And so those are my thoughts on the whole, Derek Chauvin conviction. It's got the whole situation of the police killing black men, et cetera, and even now black women and young black girls, is what you're seeing. There's so many more atrocities they're committing against our women and girls. So many of them go missing, but this is the one they're propping up because this is the one that shatters, the spirit of the men so that they can't take on that warrior thing. And remember, women, my beloveds, our role is to fight things in the spirit. Men may be stronger physically, but we're stronger spiritually. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll find you there. Until next time, tuko pamoja.